Hi guys, this is Sidney. So I am on here to give you guys a quick energy update and some guidance based on what I channeled, what I received, downloaded, and noticed. So September has been a very strong month in terms of energy, meaning we had a lot of energetic shifts and intensifying energy. So we had the 7/7 portal on July 7th, and then we had the nodal shift, which took place on 17th of July. And then we're having the Galactic New Year on the 26th, and prior to the Lionsgate on August 8th, where energy is very intensified, as usual every year, leading up to that, we are having a lot of different changes right now because a lot of astrological transits are going retrograde, meaning it's forcing every individual on this planet to go inward. So Venus retrograde and Chiron retrograde and the nodal shifts of the South Node, North Node from it was Libra to Libra South Node and Aries North Node. So a lot of things are changing right now in terms of energies. And the reason for that is because we need to really accelerate our healing. That's what I received as a message. Accelerated healing. So this applies to everyone that's living on earth right now. There's no one who's free from healing work, basically, because we signed up to be here on an earth school, on a soul contract, which is one of the most difficult schools on the in the entire universe. And the reason being that is because we have karma here. So once we sign up to come in here, unless we clear up karma, we cannot get out of this planet. We have to return, meaning we are going to go on a reincarnation cycle, and then we have to redo our lesson unless we graduate, meaning learn to forgive, learn to let go, meaning basically transcending the energy or transforming the energy of fear into love, the guilt into love, and all those things into love. So basically here we are learning about emotions as well as learning to let go of the past. So what I tapped into, the collective energy, the major theme for now, at least this week until the Lion's Gate that I'm tapping into, or what I'm getting is we have the full moon on the 1st of August. So until then, this energy, and also leading up to Lionsgate, we will continue to heal. And that means we are going to be forced into looking into relationships with others, relationships with ourselves, and how we relate to others, how we give love to others, how we receive love from others, and also the balance between giving and receiving. How are we doing that? And how are we balancing that out with meeting our needs and also taking care of our loved ones? And at this time, the past 2 weeks the energy has been intensifying. I saw the light codes intensifying, literally meaning we have very strong light codes coming down. I could see the light codes, and then it's coming down very strong, which means it could make your physical body very fatigued, because in order to receive these light codes, we need to be in a restful state, and in order for us to be in that state, we need to rest, meaning be in a state of receptivity. But we are not used to resting because we have a lot of guilt when we rest, because we've been programmed to do and perform, basically. So it's going to make your body feel very tired, so you won't have any choice but to rest, or pause or take a break. So that's what's been going on the past couple of weeks now, and it's still going on, and depending on your personal situation, your state, things are going to be different. But we also have the Chiron retrograde. So Chiron is a wounded child, so basically we are also being forced to look into our inner child wounds. So take care of your wounds that you have taken on when you were a baby or a little child from your parents in this lifetime. That's what I'm getting. Because if you heal what you felt like you received from your parents in this lifetime, actually what you are doing, this is a channeled message, you're healing that entire generation. So you're not just healing your inner child, but you are healing the inner child of your ancestors, your grandmother, your grandmother's grandmother on your mother's side, on your father's side, your grandfather, your grandfather's grandfathers and grandfathers on your father's side, on your mother's side. So that's what I'm receiving right now as I'm speaking, sharing this message with you. So at this time, doing that inner work is very, very important, not just for yourself, but for the collective as well, because the reason why you're doing that is so that you can take a lot of people with, or we can take a lot of people with us to ascend to the 5D earth. And if you're resonating with this, that is part of your soul contract. That's why you came in and signed up for Earth School at this time. So basically, you came in here, you went through many different lives, you had many reincarnations on Earth in order to be ready to do this at this very particular time. So we all came in here for this particular time. So this is a very crucial moment right now. And one of the things that came up was narcissism. And when I tapped into the energies, because on a collective level, so many people are dealing with narcissistic tendencies, narcissistic patternings in themselves, and also with people around them in close relationship, like your partners, friends, family members, your parents, siblings. And when we are in that narcissistic tendencies, it's very, very difficult to penetrate, because unless they have a tower moment and they realize something to shift within themselves, we cannot really help them wake up. And we cannot help anyone wake up. So that's why we say honor your journey and hold the love and light, because the moment you try to help someone to wake them up, what you're doing is you're basically taking their karma or taking their emotional energy, and sometimes you mistake them for yours, and which happens a lot for empaths and starseeds, earth angels, because usually we are very kind-hearted soul and we like to help people. We are very caring, nurturing, and we usually have taken on this role from the family members that we need to be responsible for their emotions. So we are very good at providing this kind of fixer-upper attitude towards our family, because we want to help them, because we love them. But actually that role is not ours to do anymore. Your job is done transmuting all those energies other people projected onto you, but now you need to take care of yourself. And that's why this Chiron retrograde, Venus retrograde, all these retrogrades are helping you to ascend further, meaning raise your vibration by letting go of any emotional baggage that you may be carrying on subconsciously, unconsciously, or even consciously, because you know that you need to let them go, but that last bit, you just have to, okay, I'm going to drop this. But you're still holding it, even though you know that you need to drop this. You see what I mean? So that last bit needs to happen right now. So that is what's happening on the collective. And that narcissistic tendencies are all about me feeling more important, me feeling more special. So they're very much entitled. They're like, I need special treatment. And they demand this from other people. And they could be very good at achieving. So they could be high achievers, very competitive, because in their mind, they're always in competition mode, because they have to feel more important compared to other people or most people. Or they have to feel more special compared to other people or most people. So they are constantly in seeking of others' validations. And what they do is they create this, I would say, a bubble around them, a shell around them, or the myth that is like a protective shell for them, that inside perhaps they have wounds of not feeling heard, not feeling seen, not feeling loved, or receiving the attention that they craved or wanted or needed growing up as a child. And what they developed was this entitlement and inflated ego that they have to create in order to protect this wounded self that feels vulnerable and weak. And so they have to always pretend or act as if they're more special. And because they play this for so long, now they don't even recognize that this was a myth, a belief system that they needed to create in order to protect their ego, which is basically self-deception. And that's what we do when we are hurt. We go into this fantasy world, we create this fantasy, and we believe that's that. And we really start to believe that is the truth, which is not, which is just an imagined world. And so it could be a little bit tricky, but that's how it works for narcissistic tendencies. And so it's very much about the self, and all they are seeking is, how can I meet my needs? So how can I get an advantage in the situation? So how can I get this from this people or this relationship or the situation? So basically that's all they're focused on. And because of this, they tend to form relationships like friendships, partnerships with people who are givers, like disempowered empaths. And so what they do is they tend to project their own lower vibrational feelings or emotional baggage and dump this energy onto someone who seems generous, accepting, kind, because for these narcissists, they see that as a weakness, not a strength, because they play power games, because they have to feel more special. They constantly break down people because there's a lot of judgment within themselves that's projected outwardly, that categorize people into the most powerful, less powerful, and they're trying to form relationship with them, the ties with them, in order to get certain benefits, because that's how they survive. And so all these narcissistic tendencies that are built around in the society, we need to release them now. And that's what I got from the energy of the collective, because this energy is very, very heavy and very toxic, and the cycle is hard to break. So if you're an empath, or if you resonate or relate yourself to that word, right, you take on others' emotions very quickly, you absorb energies around you, it's more likely that you want to focus on your inner self by going on regular meditations, grounding in nature, having some alone time so that you get out of your head, and then you separate or discern the energy that are coming from other people and what's yours. Because another thing is, at this time, because we are closing a huge karmic cycle right now, huge cycle. On the July 17th, the nodal shift of the south node and the north node has been huge. And so a lot of people from the past could return because we're going into retrogrades, and or similar situations that you thought you let go of, you moved on from. And so this is calling you to stand strong by being in your love and light, and being in that place of peace, love, harmony, joy at this time, or continue to do so as all the planets are going, many of the planets are going retrograde. And so you already said no, you already said goodbye, you already closed that chapter, and even though they want to come back, you moved on already. So you don't want to confuse the energies, because a lot of people may miss your energies. And you may have drawn some boundaries or said goodbye to certain job situations, people's relationships, and now they're looking back. And so that energy could affect your energy, and it's all about energetic cords. So you really want to discern at this time, and you could simply wake up feeling very uncomfortable or feeling these heavy emotions out of nowhere, and that is okay. Sometimes it's calling you to discern all these energies coming in from other people who's looking back on that timeline of the past that you already moved on from. Or it could be some emotional leftover that you need to release at this time. So you could see that as a gift or an opportunity, once again, to feel these emotions. And it's best you go out in nature, have the time for yourself, get away from your phone, social media, and just journal your emotions, what you're feeling, and come to some sort of self-realization is the best in order to release this emotion. And you can do some incense cleansing, the aura cleansing, the crystal cleansing, and all of that as a supportive measure, which is going to help you as well. But if you claim, if you intend by saying that I am protected, I am divinely guided, that's going to create an immediate protection around you, because what you say is what you received, and what you say and think, especially now, are very, very crucial, because the energies, the veil is getting thin. And if you've been doing the work, you're moving to another dimension. And even though you're still protected, the layers are thinning. So you want to be extra, I would say, extra discerning, extra conscious to stay in your power. Because when you say, I do not permit any of these lower vibrational energies or these people sending me energies through their thoughts, I'm going to send all these energies out to the original senders. And then, none of the lower vibration energies can enter my energy field, because you really have this power within, the authority within, that you claim, you make the order, you create the rules in your reality. Then that's how it's going to work. and that's going to be very, very powerful. So you want to be extra conscious right now with your thoughts and the words you say. And it's easy to get trapped or get sidetracked with all these thoughts that are coming up that are from the past. What if I had done this? What if I had done that? Really going into the past once again could create this distraction for you. And so it's best to focus on the blessings, the gratitude, and, you know, just keep on living this moment right now, because right now is the time to forgive the past, forgive yourself, and forgive those people. And so those people, I mean, we've been dealing with a lot of narcissists around, and perhaps you've been a narcissist yourself because you needed to survive, or you lived with lots of them. Because that is the truth. And we don't like to be seen or be associated with ourselves as a narcissistic people, but some of the tendencies could be that, and it's okay to admit, because that's how we heal, by accepting. So it's a problem when we start to deny, right? Oh, I'm not this, I'm not that, because we are still in that duality consciousness of the self-judgment of what is good and bad. We tend to identify ourselves with good and bad, and that's how narcissistic tendencies are formed, because they have such strong or deeply programmed limiting beliefs of this, that they cannot stand themselves being identified as someone weak, or someone that does not have control or authority over other people, or they cannot stand not feeling powerful or strong. And it's actually the inflated ego. It's not really the power within, because they have so much wounds inside. And so that's what's happening. And another thing related to that was projection. So basically, when you find yourself projecting onto other people your negativity, or you find someone close to you constantly projecting onto you, usually one of the things they do is, oh, you should have told me that, or oh, why didn't you tell me, right? And when you say these things, or when you hear these things, what's really creating is the lower density energies. And it's immediately gaslighting, denying, rejecting the other person's reality. And so what is creating is a lot of guilt, blame, shame, and doubt on a subconscious level. And what it's doing is a constant criticism. And the one who's doing the criticism and one who's receiving the criticism, this is very toxic. This is very, very, I would say, it's like, it's not like a straight punch to your head, but it's very shady, I would say. It's very like subtle, as if it's normal. It's okay for you to say that. But it's really hitting you constantly in your subconscious, penetrating your subconscious over and over and over. So in the end, it's reinforcing those limiting beliefs about yourself. So it's not like in your face, but it's very subtle. And a lot of the families or society normalize this, and we accept this as okay. And we allow these people to say these things or do these things, but it's really harming the self and harming others, because we don't see that as harmful as other things that we say to other people that may be very strong, meaning like straightforward punch in the head. You see, so in Korea, there's a saying, if the rain pours, we know what to do, right? But then the most dangerous thing is little drop of water that's going into your clothes that you don't even know that you're getting drained or being drowned in the end, getting all wet and soaked. And so that's how it is. Over time, it builds. So you want to really review, I've been highlighting about this, the importance of language and how we use language. And I'm guided to say this because it is so important in terms of the energy shift right now. And I posted abracadabra on my post on Instagram today because what you speak is your spells. It's your magic wand. And we all have this because we all speak and think. But people do not realize what they're dealing with. So until you understand the power of the tools that you have, you're not going to be able to utilize them properly. And so once again, you really want to review your language. And if you find or identify someone who has a narcissistic tendencies in your close social circle or family members, something that you want to do is you don't want to engage too much, meaning it's not your job to react to their words and try to fix them or help them awake or help them see it better or see it in your light. You don't need to do that because the more you do it, you get sucked into their energy. And so your job is to keep your love and light and be that example and choose the environment carefully, what you are engaging with, what you're not engaging with, because environments are very important at this time, and it's going to affect your energy a lot. And so you want to really be in that peaceful energy within your energy body. And you just have to honor their soul journey, and their soul needs to awake in their own timing. And while they do it, you need to hold your light, because by holding your light, you're going to help the collective. And when we help the collective, that's going to help everyone on an individual level. So that's how we can help on an energetic level, not just trying to help them out by trying to convince them, try to teach them something and make them see it this way or that way. You don't want to waste your energy like that anymore, because it's not our job to take responsibility for how they feel. And usually all these narcissistic people, what they do is they project onto other people, meaning they constantly criticize other people, like, oh, you should have told me that. Why didn't you tell me that? Right? And so what it's creating is, it's not on me, it's on you. It's your blame. It's your job. It's your responsibility. And what they're doing is they don't hold themselves accountable. And that's why we criticize other people. The reason why we criticize other people is because we don't want to take accountability for ourselves of how we feel, what we think. But what we are doing actually is we are asking the other person to feel for me. It's like, I'm feeling this guilt, I'm feeling this blame, I'm feeling this insufficiency, but I want to feel special. I want to feel important than you. And so by making you less important, making you feel like you're smaller than me, by criticizing you and blaming you, judging you as if you've done something wrong, you are now responsible for processing how I feel. And so that's how narcissists stay in victim consciousness and powerlessness, but they have this inflated ego that they're constantly resentful, angry, or hatred towards people who are not giving them the validation or the attention that they are seeking or needing in every moment that they need it and want it and seek it. So that's why it's very difficult, and they don't care about your needs because that's how they survived. And at this time, if you are resonating with all these things, you don't want to blame yourself or you don't want to feel bad about yourself. Simply, you just want to notice, you want to be aware of your own patterns, and then accept and forgive yourself immediately. Because that's what you had to do in order to survive. But you don't need to survive anymore. And so you just need to let go. And to let go, you need to forgive yourself for playing that role that you thought was bad or that you see as bad right now. Or you perhaps realize that you hurt other people unintentionally when you were playing that role because you needed to survive. So right now, the theme of self-forgiveness is also coming up, as well as compassion, meaning forgiving other people as well, and let them just be. And this is different from abandoning people, ignoring people. It's just choosing yourself. But that's how they're going to feel when you start to choose yourself. For people who used to take benefits from you, the people who didn't will honor and respect, but the people who took the benefits from you, they're now gonna, be unhappy with the boundaries from choosing yourself. So that is something that you want to be aware of at this time. And so we are going into a lot of retrogrades, and you don't have to be scared of retrogrades because the energies could feel a little bit heavy because we have to feel a lot of difficult or heavy emotions. But that doesn't mean you don't have to feel joy on a day-to-day basis. When these heavy feelings come up, just allow yourself to feel, process it by reflecting on them, having some realization, and then transmute it. And just release. And also, as you are going through this healing process, you don't want to compare yourself with where others are. And you also constantly want to remind yourself to honor your journey, honor who you are, honor where you are, which can be very difficult, to be quite honest, because we've been used to comparing and being compared so much. But this takes a lot of training and intentional work. And so just remind yourself constantly, remind yourself and remember who you really are. Your journey is unique. And, we only get to live in this body once, experience this body and have this experience once. So why not enjoy all of this, even the pain, right? So one of the things that you could do is just laugh at yourself, laugh at your pain, laugh at your situation. It's like, what the hell's going on with me? And then you could just create a rap, a song, dance, whatever. That's sometimes how I do. I just goof around with myself. But that's me, but you can have your own ways, however you want to do it. We could all just laugh, have a laugh about it, and then go through it, and just in the end, be thankful for these opportunities once again. And you're a blessing to this world, and we often forget this. We are a gift to someone else. We often forget this. And so you want to remind yourself of that. Remind yourself of the value of your worth and the reason why you are here. And so I'm going to end the video here today and leave you a message that we are all equally important. and we want to honor each other's unique specialties, unique gifts, unique talents, unique journey, unique self, unique dreams. And that's the future of the earth. And so I want you to start honoring yourself so you can have the space to honor other people as well. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.